very gently, we live in a rough political climate today. Growing up in the church and raised in an evangelical home, I was also raised to be a Republican. And like a good Republican, I was hardcore to the max. Sure, the Republican grabbed the Christian vote because of the stance against gay marriage and abortion, but is that enough? I remember when I was going to Christian school, learning that our secretary, who was also a Christian herself, was also a Democrat. And she had stated that this was the way that she was grown up, and these were the political beliefs that she held. I was in shock and utter disbelief, because how could any Christian truly call themselves a Democrat? I understood it later. After I left the church and had seen the world with my own eyes, I registered to become a Democrat. It was during the Bush-Kerry race that I had voted for the first time, at my own school no less. Once I got out of the car, I was greeted by one of the newer students, and I had known him before because his mother worked at the school. And he gave me the thumbs up and he said, "Vote Bush." Now, up to this time, I had been a little questioning whether or not who I was going to vote for. And as soon as he said that to me, I knew exactly what I was going to do. I was going to vote Kerry. Because I felt that being told what to do based on the cultural distinctive, rather than vote on what you're taking the time to think about, was wrong. However, I probably would have voted for Kerry anyway. And as soon as I told my mom about my vote, she looked at me and just, And she got quiet for a moment, and then she just said, I was a Democrat when I was your age. Then I grew up, and I matured, and then I changed. Thanks, Mom. The point of this video is not to tell you who to vote for or who the right man or woman for the job is. I want to start with a simple scenario to bring up a point. Why is it that we're so quick to lionize or demonize either side of the political party based on what we feel a scriptural outlook on politics are? And growing up, and even today, I've heard this phrase over and over again, that if any believer, anyone who calls himself a true Christian or a true patriot, should and never would say. And the statement had been this: Obama/Clinton/ Gore, even Cheney/Bush, depending on your Republican or Democratic side, that any of these political leaders would be the Antichrist. Really? Why is it no Christian has ever said that someone like Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-il, Saddam Hussein, or any of the other Middle East dictators out there, why haven't they said with the same amount of passion that they also could be the Antichrist? See, the ramifications of such an accusation is mind-blowing. That means, if indeed it's true that one of our political leaders would be the Antichrist, then America would be the beast foretold in Revelation. When you're dealing with prophetic imagery in the scripture, and you come across a beast, that prophecy usually deals with a nation. True, the Pilgrims did travel over from England, across the sea, rose out of the sea, and settled. True, America did establish the Federal Reserve System, or the Fed, which now control our money, or a credit card, mortgage, car loans, just to say the least. They define our financial system upon which our nation operates. And when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, it was truly a death blow because it left our entire West Coast defenseless. They could have attacked us and overtaken us unhindered. And yet, what happened? We turned around and we bombed Hiroshima and we bombed Nagasaki. Then the whole world stood in awe and said, "Who can stand against America? The sleeping giant has awoken." But nah, none of this is true. Could it be? Most agree that today America has lost its way from what the Founding Fathers would have wanted. However, not this far. Never this far. Would they then take it back? Obama is not the Antichrist, the leader of the beast. No matter how you may disagree with his policies or actions or inactions, as the case may be. We must pray for our leaders, no matter who they are or what they stand for. Because, truth be known, the Republicans and the Democrats are just the left foot and the right foot of American movement, the yin to the other's yang. They need each other to exist. Yahweh's political system is so much different and yet so eerily similar. It's as if our government is a counterfeit of his. Because soon, if it hasn't already, It won't matter who's steering the ship when the bull is bucking and running all by itself. But fear not, the leader of the beast is not the Antichrist. I've only used this term to relate to you as the viewer with the Christian mindset that already exists, whether you're a Christian or not. The leader of the beast, I believe, had not shown himself yet. However, the Antichrist, or as Paul calls him, the worker of lawlessness, or the lawless one, had been around for quite some time, leading men astray, working his signs and wonders, placing himself upon the throne of Yahweh, proclaiming himself to be God. He is not some demon, nor some politically possessed mind. He is something very real, and a very strong presence to be dealt with. All the clues have been given, and the sage has been said. Turn back now, because you may never want to know who truly is the monster at the end of this book.